Namaste students, I am JVN Dr. Aziz Mohammed Khan from Department of Food and Biotechnology, Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. Today I am going to discuss about the topic bacterial classification. The topic is related to fundamental of microbiology and the topic is related to BTech FBT third trimester integrated and BSc FND third trimester. Bacteria are actually the common microorganism. Okay, they are very common and found very easily. So their classification is also common. Okay, the classification is based on many factors. Okay, not only a single factor. The classification of bacteria is dependent on various factors. Okay, many and many classification factors are involved in the classification of bacteria. Here the two are phenotypic classification and genotypic classification are the basis. Okay, and the basis of phenotypic classification is all also in various types of basis. Okay, the classification is based on the structure, function, staining, nutrition, and environmental factor, structure, antigenic structure. Okay, so these are the classification of bacteria basis. So first we discuss about the phenotypic classification, and that one is morphological. On the basis of morphological, there are six major groups, in which the first group is true bacteria. We know the bacteria are true bacteria, actinomycetes, mycoplasma. These are the groups of groups of bacteria, and one specific group of bacteria is true bacteria. If we talk about the anything, then we talk about the true bacteria. What on the basis of morphological structure, the true bacteria are divided into some specific structure. Okay, we have already discussed in our third lecture. So what are the true bacteria? On the basis of the shape, the bacteria may be divided into some specific kinds. Okay, the first is cocci. Cocci means round, spherical, oval. Okay, round, spherical, oval are known as the cocci. So if one coccus is present, it is known as the monococcus. If two coccus are present, then they are known as the Diplococcus. Okay. If a chain of coccus is present, then they are known as a Streptococcus. Okay. And Staphylococcus are the bunch. Okay. If they are in a bunch, then they are known as the Staphylococcus. And if they are in a cube-like structure, they are known as a Sarcina. Okay. And if they are in the four group, they are known as tetrads. If they are in a four, they are known as the tetrads. So this is the coccus, this is Diplococcus. Diplococcus will divide and form tetrads, and these tetrads will form Sarcina. Some of these coccus will form a chain that is known as Streptococcus, and some of these coccus will form multiply and form a bunch that is known as the Staphylococci. Okay, now bacilli. Bacilli are rod-shaped bacteria. On the basis of arrangement, they are also divided into some shapes such as Diplobacilli, Streptobacilli. Felicetes, Chinese letters form Coco bacilli, coma shapes. Okay, Coco bacilli means formation of bacillus plus cocci. The this is the mixture of coccus and bacilli that is known as the coco bacilli. Bacilli means it is rod shape. If two bacilli are there, they are diplobacilli. Four are they are pallidobacilli, and the chain is streptobacilli and coma shape, and they are also in a stalk form. This is the Vibrio, and this is the coma form bacteria. Okay, then similarly, there are some more chain-like structures that are spirochetes, riminols. So these are the basis of structure. These are the basis of shape of bacteria, and the classification is dependent on the shape of the bacteria. So the next is actinomycetes. Actinomycetes, we have studied this bacteria in our previous video. Actinomycetes are rigid organisms which are like true bacteria, but they are resemble some of the features of some of their features are like fungi. Okay, they are in branch form. They are in a filamentous formation. Okay, actinomycetes are termed like because they are such like a sun sun rays. They are like sun rays, so they are these are the uh, formation of actinomycetes structure. So they are like sun rays. Okay, so they are normally actinomycetes. Actin means ray and mycin means fungus. This is the filamentous structure in which there are some hyphae which are like a rays, which resembles like a rays of sun. So they are known as the actinomycetes. Next is a spirochetes. They are relatively longer, slender, non-branched microorganisms of spiral. Okay, they are a spiral shape, which are known as spirochetes. Next is mycoplasma. They are bacteria which do not have cell wall. Okay, that lack a cell wall and are highly pleomorphic, and they have different types of shapes. And most of these mycoplasma are in round or oval bodies. The size is very smaller. The size of mycoplasma is very smaller. The next is rickettsia and chlamydia. They are also very small and obligate parasite. Some of these some of their species are like close relation with viruses. Okay, but at this time they are counted in the bacteria phylum due to their phylogenetic study. Okay, so now they are considered as bacteria, and earlier these rickettsia and chlamydia were considered as viruses. The the next classification basis is based on the anatomical features such as capsule, flagella, spores. Capsule are the outermost covering, which is after cell wall. Okay, that is the outermost. It is found in only some bacterial species. The capsule are the protecting features of bacteria which provide the protection to the bacteria. Similarly, they are also responsible for the pathogenic nature. Okay, they are also responsible for the pathogenic nature of the bacteria. On the basis of capsule, the bacteria are divided into two types: capsulate and non-capsulate. Capsulate means The bacteria which have capsules, example Streptococcus pneumonia, and the another that do not have capsule are known as the non-capsulate. The examples are Viridans streptococci. Okay. The next is flagella. Flagella are the cell organelles which help in the movement of bacteria. So some microorganisms which have flagella are known as the flagellate. Okay, and the flagella may be monotrichous, lopotrichous, ammotrichous, peritrichous, depending on their size and shape. And the bacteria which do not have flagella are known as the aflagellate. Example is Shigella. Shigella is also a pathogenic bacteria. Next classification is based on the spore. Spore are the structure which help the bacteria in starvation conditions. What are the starvation conditions? Starvation conditions are the conditions in which there is no nutrients for the bacteria. So at that time where there is no nutrients, the bacteria take the forms into a spore, and these spores help the bacteria to provide nutrients. Okay, so on the basis of presence of a spore, there are two types of bacteria: spore forming and non-spore forming. Spore forming are examples of bacillus, and example of non-spore bacteria are E. coli. The next classification is based on the staining procedures. Okay, the first staining procedure is gram stain, and on the basis of gram staining, there are two bacteria, gram positive and gram negative, and we can also further divide these gram positive and gram negative bacteria on the basis of their shape, including gram positive positive cocci. Example is Staphylococcus aureus, gram negative cocci, Neisseria gonorrhea, and gram positive rods, Clostridium, and gram negative rods that are E. coli. Okay, and the next classification mm, is on acid fast staining. Acid fast staining is also a specific staining procedure which is mainly depending on the actinobacteria. Okay, some of the actinobacteria, mycobacteria, Staphylococcus aureus, uh, some of the species can be gram, some of the species can be positive for the acid fast staining. Okay, and most of them are non-acid fast staining. The example of acid fast staining bacteria are Mycobacterium tuberculosis and Actinobacteria. And another bacteria which do not have acid fast staining are known as the non-acid fast bacteria, and the example is Staphylococcus aureus. Next classification is based on the cultural characteristics. Okay, what are the culture characteristics? If we grow the microorganism in culture media in lab, okay, on the basis of their culture growth parameters, we can divide these microorganisms, these bacterial species, in few types. The first is extra growth factors requirements, the, in which the fastidious and non-fastidious are there. Fastidious are there which require more and more nutrients. An example is Haemophilus influenza, and the non-fastidious include Escherichia coli, which are general bacteria which do not require extra growth factors for their growth. Okay. The next is hemolysis. The next is growth on agar, blood agar media, and on the blood agar there is a lysis of hemoglobin. If there is a lysis of hemoglobin occurs, there is a classification on the basis of hemolysis. So on the basis of hemolysis, two kinds of bacteria are identified. The first is alpha hemolysis and the second is beta hemolysis. Alpha hemolysis, example of alpha hemolysis is Streptococcus pneumonia, and the example of beta hemolysis is Streptococcus pyogenes. Next culture characteristic include the utilization of carbohydrates. So the microorganism which utilize the carbohydrates on the basis of there are two types of bacteria are found: oxidative and fermentative. Oxidative are which are required oxygen, and fermentative bacteria are the microorganism which not only use the carbon sources but also they ferment the carbon sources. The examples are E. coli. On the basis of culture characteristics, we are going to divide the bacteria into some features. The first feature is growth rate. If the bacteria grow very fast, they are known as the rapid grower. Example is Vibrio cholerae. And if the bacteria grow very slow, they are known as the slow growers. Example are Mycobacterium tuberculosis. The next characteristic is pigment production. Some bacteria produce specific color after their growth. This color is known as the pigment. Okay, if the bacteria produce this pigment, they are known as the producer. Example is Staphylococcus aureus. And if they are not producing any kind of pigments, they are known as non-pigment producer. Example is E. coli. Based on the nutrition, two types of bacteria are there: autotrophs and heterotrophs. Autotrophs are the microorganisms. Autotrophs are the bacteria which produce their nutrients, which use the carbon sources. Okay, which use the carbon sources or any other sources, and they and produce their own food themselves. Okay, they produce their food themselves. Okay, they are not dependent on any other kind of microorganism. They produce their food on their own behalf. But heterotrophs are the microorganisms which are dependent on the autotrophs. Okay, first these autotrophs will produce which first these autotrophs will consume any source of nutrient, and after consumption of autotrophs, these heterotrophs will consume the source substrate, and they will consume the carbon source, nitrogen source after consumption by autotrophic bacteria. And now the classification on the basis of some environmental factors such as temperature, oxygen dependence, pH, salt concentration, and atmospheric pressure. The first is temperature. On the basis of temperature, the bacteria are divided into four types. The first is psychrophiles, which the bacteria which can grow at lower temperature, okay, which are known as the psychrophiles. The temperature may be 15 to 20 or lower than 15 degrees centigrade. The mesophilic bacteria are the bacteria which can survive at normal temperature. Okay, medium temperature such as 20 degree to 40 degree. Okay, they are known as the mesophiles. The examples are E. coli, Salmonella, okay, Staphylococcus aureus. The thermophilus bacteria are the bacteria which can survive at higher temperature. Okay, Higher temperature means 50 to 60 degree, which the normal bacteria cannot survive. Okay, these are known as the thermophiles. And extreme thermophiles, which can survive extreme high temperature. Okay, these are known as the extreme thermophiles. On the basis of oxygen dependence, the bacteria are divided into aerobic, obligate aerobe, and microaerophilic. Aerobic bacteria are the bacteria which grow at ambient concentration of oxygen, such as 21% oxygen and small amount of car- carbon dioxide. Okay, they can survive on the small amount of carbon dioxide and 21% of oxygen about, and they require oxygen for their growth, oxygen for their survival. Okay, they are known as the aerobic. Obligate aerobic are the mm, bacteria which require oxygen. They require oxygen very strictly. If they do not find oxygen, they cannot survive. Okay, they need only and only oxygen, not any other gas. And without absence of oxygen, they will not survive a little time. The next is microaerophilic, which which are the bacteria which grow under low concentration of oxygen. Okay, and can survive increased concentration of carbon dioxide. Okay, they can survive in higher concentration of CO2, but they need low oxygen, which are known as the microaerophilic. The example are Chemamperti and Heliobacter. The next is facultative aerobic. Facultative aerobic, facultative anaerobic are the bacteria have ability, which have capability to survive in both presence or absence of oxygen. These are known as the facultative anaerobes. Obligate anaerobes are the bacteria which are strictly anaerobic. Okay, they are strictly anaerobic. And canophilic are the bacteria which require higher concentration of CO2. Okay, they are known as the canophilic. And aerotolerant are the bacteria which can survive in presence of oxygen, but they do not require oxygen. Next environmental factor is pH. If the pH of a bacteria is found, they can grow very well. Okay, so every bacteria have a particular suitable pH. They need a particular pH range in which they can survive. And what is the pH? pH is the potential of hydrogen. Okay, if the pH of any solution, any environment is 7, it is neutral. If pH of any environment is lower than 7, it is acid. If the pH of any environment is more than 7, it is alkaliphilic. It is acid, alkali nature. So on the basis of pH requirement, the bacteria are divided into three types. Acidophiles are the microbes which can uh, survive at pH lower than 7. Alkaliphiles are the bacteria which need pH more than 7. Okay, acidophiles need pH lower than 7 and alkaliphiles need pH above 7. And neutrophils are the microbes. Neutrophils are the bacteria which need the pH at neutral range, that is 7. And most of the bacteria grow at a normal pH, that is 7.2 to 7.6, which are the neutrophils. The next is salt concentration. On the basis of salt concentration, there are two types of bacteria. The first is halophiles and the second is non-halophiles. Halophiles are the bacteria which require high concentration of salt. Okay, high concentration of salt in their environment. And non-halophiles are the bacteria which do not require high concentration of salt. So there are some more other ways of classification of bacteria. On the basis of relationship with host, the bacteria can be divided into three parts: the saprophytes, parasites, and common cells. Saprophytes are the microorganisms which are dependent on the dead animals, okay, or decaying things, such as uh, used carbon sources. Okay, they are dependent on the undead things. Okay, non-living things. Okay, they are known as the saprophytic. And the parasites are the microorganisms which depend on a living organism for their survival. Okay, they survive in a host which is living, and the saprophytes are the or microorganisms which are dependent on dead animals and dead things. Okay, they are saprophytes. Common cells are the microbes that live in complete life with harmony, but they can produce disease when host resistance is lowered. Okay, these are the common cells, and these common cells live on the human. Okay, and they do not harm at a particular time, but when a particular situation, when the human or any animal has not ability to fight against the microorganism, then at that condition these microbes can cause disease. Okay, these are known as the common cells. The examples are normal microflora of human. Okay, normal microflora means the organisms which are inside our human body are known as the normal microflora. Now, based on the pathogenicity, bacteria can be divided into three types. The pathogens are the organisms which are able to spread disease. Okay, they can cause disease. And non-pathogen are which do not cause any kind of disease, such as lactobacilli, which is used in the production of curd. And the common cells are the microorganisms which live in the human, but they do not cause. But a time when the human immune system is weak, then these common cells will cause disease into humans. Some of the microorganisms are also divided in the basis of their genotypic, that is their DNA hybridization and their higher GC content. So there are lots of bacteria which can be divided on the basis of their genotypic features. And DNA hybridization means the plasmid, the bacteria which contains the plasmid and the bacteria which do not have plasmid. Okay, and the bacteria which have high GC content are known as the actinobacteria. So these are the characteristic of genotypic characters which we can use for the classification of bacteria. And along with these characteristics, our topic is over here, and now we will meet in another video tutorial.